All right, hey everyone, it's another episode of Simply 15. You'll notice that there's only two of us because we killed the other one. Or has something happened? I don't know what happened.
He's out on assignment.
He's on an assignment. He's on it. He's on an ass assignment, and which is funny because the two movies we're going to talk about today, it's a special double feature.
Got a lot of ass.
Got ass, it's got tits, it's got dingling, swinging dicks in the breeze, swinging dicks in the shadows, swinging titties, old people fucking, young people fucking.
We're talking about
That's just one of the Tom movies Hanks. Too. Yeah, we're talking about Big. We're doing the double features of Big and the Burbs. Like we're not really talking about that. We're talking about a movie I saw that DJ told me to watch earlier, and I finally watched it a couple weeks ago. And DJ watched this movie on his own volition. I don't know why, but we're talking about two new movies from 2022. We're talking about X, and we're talking about Fresh. Not Brand X, not Fresh
one syllable movies. One
syllable and one word movies. So yeah, I'm going to talk about X, and then DJ's going to talk about Fresh, and then we're going to cross over. We're going to cross over with an X, if you will. And I'll let you start, DJ. So you watch Fresh first.
Yes.
What's your word for the movie Fresh?
I'm not sure if this is a word again. Again, I come up with words I'm not sure. Allegorical? I'm pretty sure that's a word.
Oh god, it's so boring.
Ari Aster had that movie Midsummer where I think Aster said it was more like a allegorical breakup movie. Fresh is kind of like an allegorical dating movie.
the courting, an allegory of courting, modern day courting.
Yeah, the horrors of dating, literally.
Yeah, this is why you don't date people IRL.
No, unlike X, Fresh has like a pretty big twist in it. So much so, the opening title doesn't happen until maybe like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's just I think it's the longest cold open I've seen in a movie
ever. Of all time. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I'll try to dance around the big twist. But if you wanted to watch it and come back, Fresh was recommended to me, so I went in cold.
It wasn't by me. I didn't recommend it.
No.
I didn't know this movie existed until you told me.
My special lady friend recommended this to me, which made me very weird.
Special lady friend?
Yeah, exactly. So I watched this movie and I went in cold, and it proved to me that Sebastian Stan has a lot more range than I thought he did. I mean, I remember
more than Winter Soldier, if you will.
Or I remember him in Hot Tub Time Machine, but in here, and especially Pam and Tommy, you get to see like. He has some, not just a charm, but he kind of goes. He does a lot of stuff. Let's put it. I don't want to get.
He's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
He's doing some shit in this movie.
I got a little Human Centipede feel from this movie. Not. It's not that disgusting.
Yeah.
But just the kind of starkness of what's going on, it kind of like, what? Somebody's gonna save the day. Nope.
There's not really much saving the day. I mean,
but not
kind of, sort of. But it's
you lose. People lose things.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, people aren't really winning in this. There's a lot of losers in this fucking movie.
Exactly.
There's, of course, it has the very tongue-in-cheek ending with our guy in the car at the end of the movie too, which is like, oh, of course, it's on the fucking nose. I get that Human Centipede, but it's kind of got the hallmark of all kind of. I really don't want to spoil it at the same time.
Somebody was trying to tell me, ask me what it's like, and I'm like, have you ever seen the Adjustment Bureau in Human Centipede? And they're like, the Adjustment Bureau, what part? I'm like, the Adjustment Bureau is predicated on the chemistry between Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. That's the whole movie is based on that they have good chemistry. And Sebastian Stan, and I forget the name of the girl.
Daisy. She's got Daisy, and she's got a hyphenated name. It's like Daisy something Jones.
Their chemistry is so good. You kind of like they start this kind of romance, and you're like all in. And
you're like, oh, this could be a cute.
This feels like a 500 Days of Summer, because again, I did not know what this movie was about. I thought it was like some kind of drama or like some kind of revolutionary road kind of situation. But nope. It's not that.
No, it takes some turns. It takes a turn after the 33-minute mark, basically. So
a humongous turn. Again,
a humongous turn, which
I don't want to spoil it, but I would say it's worth your time. It's gonna catch you off guard. It's a lot gorier than you think, but it's not like
over
exploitative.
The top.
It's like when people die, they don't like hide it, but they don't go over the top throwing it in your face. It's just
There's a lot of more. There's a lot more subtleness to the like the. I guess you already said when people die. So people do die, but
People do die,
it's
yes.
not egregiously gory. It's more
No.
kind of
Stark.
leaving your mind, leaving your imagination kind of up to it a little bit, where it's like, oh shit, what really happens? So
Like kind of like Midsummer. Like when people die in Midsummer, it's
they
not like
disappear. They just fucking vanish most of the time in Midsummer, except for the old man who fucking falls off or jumps off the cliff and then later gets his head bashed in.
does this little Thelma and Louise action. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
crazy.
pretty much. Yeah, he went all the way.
But yeah, I like this movie. What you think about it?
I like God. The one word I would say it got just it was messy. It was okay. I'll just say the movie's messy because it starts strong, good middle, and to me the ending kind of just falls a little flat.
Oh, you did not like the
It
ending.
wasn't my favorite. And it was a little too on the nose. The final shot was like, oh, okay. It's like, of course. And
So you wanted more. Most of the time,
I
me
don't
and
know what
Matt
I wanted.
argue because Matt likes movies that are kind of ambiguous endings. I kind of
But
like.
this wasn't even ambiguous. I feel like this had a beginning, middle, and end.
Mhm.
But it also reminded me of another movie. I won't bring it up because if I say the movie, it's probably going to
Right,
spoil the movie. You probably know what movie I'm talking about.
right.
And I like that kind of idea of other things going on in this film. And we're playing the fucking pronoun game. Uh, but but for a movie, it was messy at the end, and it just didn't seem tidy, and it felt rushed. The
Right.
ending was like this. It's like, oh
The
fuck, we
ending
got
did.
15
The ending
minutes.
does go on a clip because it takes its time for.
Yeah,
We're talking about that
slow
cold
burn,
open,
which I did
and
like.
then it's just flying in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I would say this movie's about 75% really good,
Mm,
really good pacing, good story, good a lot of good stuff, good acting too. I like
right.
Sebastian Stan and the other girl. I'll just call her Daisy Jones because
Yeah,
that's technically her name.
yeah.
They're both really good chemistry. It's got some good little like oohs. It's got some good oohs in it
Mm.
that I did like a lot. But overall, it just felt like very, especially at the end, just rushed and maybe something else could happen, but this is going to be a one and done, in my
Okay, all
personal
right.
opinion. So I don't know.
Talk about your movie. Talk about your
Oh
film.
yeah, so X is
Talk
what
about
I
Brand
yeah
X.
Brand X. Imagine if there was a little Joker not in there, but
Oh,
there
that'd be great.
wasn't. Missed opportunity.
Mm-mm.
Now you asked me if I had watched this first, and I didn't. It was in the theater, and it was one of these movies that wasn't really available. So I waited for it to be on the thing to rent it. If you know you're
Mm-hmm.
renting it for full fucking price, but I really dug this movie. This movie was I mean, I would say this movie is a classic.
Oh,
This movie is
really?
an instant classic, in my opinion.
Really? I'm happy you liked
I
it.
fucking loved it from
Ah,
beginning to
when
end.
I saw the trailer, I'm like, this seems like it's up Stewart's alley. I
Yeah,
kind of know your alley. You know what
and
I'm
I
saying?
yeah, and I kind of went in cold. I kind of knew a general idea of this movie. It was basically old school throwback exploitation grindhouse Texas
Right.
Chainsaw 70s movie, gritty, grimy. Had some people in it that I liked. I like fucking I can't even name him right now.
The guy from
Um,
Torque.
the guy, yeah, he's great.
I forget his name, but the guy
Kid
from Torque.
Cudi's in it.
Kid
Brittany
Cudi.
Snow. What's her name from the Scream
Oh yeah,
reboot?
yeah, the
Not
one from the
reboot or
recent Scream movie.
sequel,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. Forgot
yeah,
her name, but looks like a pretty much a Disney actress. I'm sure she
yeah.
is. She was excellent. This movie's fucking brutal.
Very.
It is very tense. It's got some good, like really good. I want to say, I mean, it's got great kills. It's
Hmm.
got everything I kind of wanted. It's got some really fucked up shit going on. Ty West directed. I like Ty West because I like House of the Devil. I think House of the Devil is probably one of the more underrated horror movies of the 2010s. It was
Mm.
like it was like when did House of the Devil come out? Like late, like maybe 2019,
I looked
2018.
this up
Um,
earlier, but I forgot to tell you. I was trying to look up Ty West's
yeah,
filmography, but I forgot. I forgot.
he's done stuff with Adam Wingard. They're kind of in that same like kind of like timings, like Adam Wingard, Ty West, and a few other
Wingard, one of
people
my favorites, did The
from the
Guest. I
guest.
fucking love The
We can
Guest.
fucking talk about the guest for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes, 50 minutes,
But
hour.
this movie is classic. This movie is, and there's a lot of like, this movie sucks, this and that. There, I mean, I
I
can
did
get.
hear that. People were telling me they hated this movie. I'm like, I'm watching it, I'm like, why? Why
I
would
don't
you
know
hate
why.
this?
There's not really anything to really. I mean, it could be cliche, but it's a slasher movie.
Right.
But it subverts some Maybe people don't like Mia Goth. I don't know. The verdict's out on
Yeah.
her for me personally.
Hmm.
And speaking of allegories, this can be fucking allegory central depending on how you
Oh yeah,
take it with
yes,
at the end.
the
So
religious
with
overtones,
all the
undertone. I don't want
overtones
to call
of
it undertones. It's
they're
overtones.
overtones. And I guess at the end you get the surprise, like, oh my god, there's a
Yeah.
shocker at the end. But she's good. I like the older couple and how fucked up their relationship is.
Mhm.
And I
Who?
don't know.
Give me ask you a question. Who plays them? Because I look on the cast list, they're not on
Apparently,
the cast list.
apparently they are younger people that were
Is
put
it
in
Emma Goth?
old makeup.
I was guessing it was Emma Goth as the old lady.
I do think I read that too, and I'm not sure exactly if that's the case, but I did read that that was Emma Goth playing the old
Both of
lady,
the it would make sense
or
because
maybe
of
both
the
characters. I don't know. She was
right, right.
fucking herself. Who the fuck? What the fuck do I know? What did you think of X? Because you saw it just right before we got
Right.
this going.
I watched it at the
You're
gym.
super fresh on this, so
I'm super fit. My word's craftsmanship.
mm.
Again, you know me. I'm not a horror guy. I am
No, you're
like I
not.
kind of
I'm surprised we went ham on two back to
though
back on
X
horror movies.
it doesn't really break any ground as far as horror films are concerned. Like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's
Mm.
very Texas Chainsaw. I really thought the cinematography and the editing of this movie is really, really well done.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching the movie and I'm like, I kept saying to myself, "Oh wow, that's a really good shot. Oh wow, that's a good transition. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really good shot. Oh,
And
that's
we're
a
not even
really
talking
good
about the
shot."
porno aspect of it too, which is
Even the
very
porno
artful.
aspect, I was like, I know we were talking about Winning Time a couple weeks ago, and like I said, that show was kind of shot like it was shot as a '70s show,
Mm-hmm.
and this is kind of shot like it's shot like a grindhouse movie.
Yep.
And just that, I think the cinematography. There's one kill with a near a van, and the blood gets on the headlights, and the
Oh yeah.
light turned.
Very
I was like,
artsy.
that is very. I hadn't seen anything like that before. I thought that was really well done.
It's
And
yeah.
I mean, as far as horror movies go, I would like to see Ty West because he clearly
He knows what
knows
he's
his way
doing.
around the camera. He
Mm-hmm.
knows how to compose stuff because you can watch a horror movie all day. You're just talking about Scream. The new Scream came out.
Yeah.
There's nothing great about the cinematography in that
No,
movie.
it's a run of the mill type thing.
It's
And
the
even that, I
Marvel
like
of
that movie.
horror movies.
I like that movie at the same time. It didn't do anything
Right,
for me,
right,
but
but
there
it's
was some
not
good
like
stuff about it.
the
Yeah.
the shot with the van. You wouldn't get that in a Scream movie.
No,
Right? That's
no.
so well composed, and the camera does certain stuff. There's one hitch I have in the movie. There's a lot of cool kills, except for one character's death. It seems like they couldn't figure out how to get rid of this character. Every kill in the movie is inventive except for one. I won't say who it
We're probably
is.
thinking the same one. Is it the one that involves a gun?
Yes, that I
Okay.
was. It felt like somebody was like,
Shoehorned
gun.
in, kind of, sort of. It's like, okay, well, we got to get rid of this
Compared to
character.
every other death in the movie, it is the most
Yeah.
uncreative way to get
Well, I
rid of
guess there's
somebody.
two gun kills though, but I think I know
But
we're
that one
talking
was
about the same
creative.
one,
That was
and
a
that one was done
cool,
very well, and it was done
very well.
awesomely.
Yes,
I really, and it was shocking. It
yes.
surprised me too.
It reminded me of Simple Plan when the girl got
Yeah.
shot in the house, and
Hmm.
that. See the way they do this movie. I mean, the porno aspect is a porno aspect, but that's just a
Yeah.
framing device. I think it's very well shot for a cheap. I say cheap. It's a low budget
Low budget on.
grindhouse.
Yeah.
It's way. I mean, it felt like an Eggers movie or a Ari Aster movie in
Yeah.
terms of its cinematography. So, and I know the editor for
Simple.
this is Ty. Wasn't Ty West? I think it's name
Did Ty West direct? He
He
directed and
edited
edited.
he
Edited
edited it
and
along with a guy who he was in the editorial department for a lot of Matt Reeves movies,
oh,
like Let
okay.
Me In and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So that's why the editing was so freaking good, I think. So yeah, I really liked X. I dug it. I dug it.
Yeah. It
I think
was.
more than I thought.
Yeah. It was a fun movie that I didn't really have expectations of, and everybody started talking about it, and I like those throwback grimy, and I liked the movie. I liked that it was like kind of mean. It had
It
like
was me.
it had a streak to it. It had like this kind of like very not giving you like one shot in particular with the nail
Yeah,
was was a very mean
I
scene, but
hate that. I hate
I
that
didn't
because
like it.
in
But
Quiet Place, I hated it. I hate the nail in the foot
yeah,
thing. Don't do
but
the nail in the foot thing.
I just like the aspect of it because there's nothing you can do about it, and the audience is just looking at it, and you just know it's happening, and you can't.
Right.
You're either going to look at it or you're not. And I like things like that where the director's kind of taking you out of control a little bit and just
Mhm.
letting him guide you through. And from beginning to end, I liked it. I mean, it had some like good fucked up shit going on in
Very
it.
gory, but I mean,
Gory.
again, gory, but not. I don't want to say exploitive because it's trying to be exploitative, but like I didn't go like, come on, what are you guys doing here? But they don't. When you see unflinching gore, I'd say unflinching gore in this movie.
Yeah, this was stuff that was even was done realistically and kind of like, oh shit, that's I can see that going that way, and so I can see it for both movies. I mean, both X and Fresh had its moments.
I would say my movie's more intellectual.
Oh, and I would say mine has more meat on the bones.
Oh, you
if you
bastard.
will. And with that, that's 15 minutes. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, all that shit, and we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.